Hey guys, Justin from Loft, back with another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Today I'm looking at a Constellation-based Selesnya green-white deck. AliasV has recently covered off this deck, and I thought it was really fun. I've made a couple of small changes to the deck, but overall, it's, pretty fun. So, the whole idea is, I guess we're going to focus on the Constellation keyword, so anytime an enchantment enters the battlefield, we're going to be able to put 1/1 counters on Citizen Champion, for example. We're going to be able to generate 2/2 White Pegasus creature tokens when enchantment enters the battlefield. We've got a number of enchantment cards here. Banishing Light. I've basically replaced Prison Realm with Banishing Light. Banishing Light is effectively a Prison Realm, but Banishing Light is a little bit more flexible, where we can exile target non-land permanents in general that an opponent controls, instead of just an opponent creature or an opponent planeswalker. So, especially with the new meta, with the new set, I should say, with Theros Beyond Death, introducing a lot of new enchantments and a lot of enchantment-focused decks around the place at the moment. Banishing Light just does a little bit better because we can target opponent enchantments or artifacts, being any opponent permanent that, as long as it's non-land. But yeah, Banishing Light is pretty useful. Hydra's Growth is a really funny card. It's another enchantment, so we're going to be triggering our Citizen Champions. Nexus Wardens gets us 2 life whenever we introduce an enchantment to the battlefield. But Hydra's Growth is going to be really funny if we can get that to trigger. May actually even swap this out for 4 of these just to see how we go. But Hydra's Growth is an enchantment itself. We can enchant a creature with it, and when Hydra's Growth enters the battlefield, we can put a 1/1 counter on the enchanted creature, and at the beginning of our upkeep, we can double the number of 1/1 counters on enchanted creature that Hydra's Growth is attached to. So, first turn we play Hydra's Growth, it'll have a 1/1 counter. Second turn, we'll have a 2/2 counter. The third turn, we'll have a 4/4 counter. Then an 8/8, for example, and that'll eventually turn into 16/16, and so on. So it will just keep doubling itself every turn. If that can stay alive for a couple of turns, the enchanted creature could get really out of hand. So that could be really funny. We'll see if we can make that happen. Calyx for some removal. Mostly interested in the exile target creature, his -3 ability. His plus ability is not too bad. We can look at the top 4 cards of our library, and we can reveal enchantment cards from among them and put them into your hand. Calyx is pretty much a no-brainer for enchantment-focused decks, since we can pull the enchantments that we need. One thing that I'm sort of missing in this deck is potentially... what card was it? There's an enchantment I'm thinking. Sentinel Eyes. Gets our creatures 1/1 and Vigilance. We'll see how we go without Sentinel Eyes. I may actually even just stick it in the sideboard for now. Oops. Let's get rid of that. Let's swap back over here. Let's put Sentinel Eyes in the sideboard. Yeah, we may end up putting that in the main deck. But we'll see how we go with it. Archon of Sun's Grace gets us flying over the top of big beastie boys. Starfield Mystic gets our creatures, our enchantment spells down by 1. So most of our spells here are enchantment creatures or enchantments themselves. Alseid of Life's Bounty for some protection and lifelink. Omen of the Hunt helps us get some more lands out. I kind of think of this as like a green witching well, almost. We can scry too once we sacrifice it, so pretty cool. A Trostani Discordant. I quite like this card, especially... I've been playing against a lot of Agent of Treachery lately. I'm making, Citizen Champion really big. Agent of Treachery comes in and just steals our Citizen, or steals another key creature that we have, so Trostani Discordant basically just lets us regain control of all the creatures that we own at the beginning of our end step. We also get +1/+1 on all our creatures, which is kind of nice. And we get to create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink to give us a couple of blockers to throw away in case we need them or to regain some life. But that's the deck. Our mana base is 2 Castle Ardenvales, 6 Plains, 8 Forests, 2 Temple Gardens for some shock land to pull 2 colors if we need something early, and Temple of Plenty for some scries. There's 2 of those. Let's go check out the deck and see how it performs. Okay, opponent's going first. We have not a bad mana pool here. We have a Banishing Light, Starfield Mystic on turn 2, Nexus Wardens turn 3 or an Omen to pull some more land so we can get something going there. We've got the 3 lands that we need to pull the Omen off. Banishing Light for some removal. This is a pretty slow hand, but we'll play it and see how we go. Playing some best of 1 on ladder here. Haven't really filled out the sideboard with this deck, so best of 1 for now is the best option. So opponent's playing a Temple of Mystery here, getting their scry off early. They've pulled in a Boreal Grazer as well, so they've gotten their second land out of their hand. Nice turn 1 play. I think we'll play the Plains to play Alseid. So our Boreal Grazer is going to be getting in our way here as a blocker. We could potentially just attack each turn for now to just gain buff out our life a little bit. Play the Forest and Starfield Mystic. So now next turn our Omen is going to cost 1 less. Pretty much all of our enchantments will cost 1 less. The only non-enchantment we have is Nexus Wardens and Chostani. So we've got a Risen Reef, so that's going to be fun. Play the Forest. Destiny Spinner. They're splashing some blue here in their deck, so I think we're going to go Destiny Spinner. Just to protect against any sort of counters that are going on. We could Banishing Light the Risen Reef, but I'm thinking we just go Omen of the Hunt. Or we may just play Omen towards the end of their end step. I think we'll just do that. We can flash it in even. Comes onto the battlefield tapped anyway, so I think we just continue on. We could trade the Risen Reef. Starfield Mystic is going to get blocked by a Boreal Grazer, not much point attacking. But we can gain the life from Alseid, so they're going to block with a Boreal Grazer here. That's fine. Put a stop in at the end step so we can go Omen. Actually, we should just play it now. I'll forget otherwise, so we'll play it now. Okay, so they get a Gilded Goose to drop some food. 2 Risen Reefs, that's doing quite a bit of work for them, so we might just go Banishing Light on one of their Risen Reefs, but we could go Nexus Wardens. We'll gain some life if we... So we got 2 mana still free. Yeah, we could play both. Banishing Light, Risen Reef, potentially. Just to slow them down a little bit. we attack with everything, they're not going to have enough blockers for everything. So, well, I mean, they've got 3, but they're not going to sack the Gilded Goose. We'll see if that ends up being a decent play or not, but... Okay, Cavalier. We could have held on to the Banishing Light for Cavalier. In retrospect, yep, that would have been good. Elemental Knight, so the Risen Reef will get triggered. Probably should have held on to the Banishing Light for the Cavalier, but hey. You live, you learn. Got another Omen. We play the Trostani here. Generate some blockers, some lifelink blockers for Cavalier, since we don't have an answer for that right now. It's a 5/6. We can't really attack. Their deck could very well have a Agent of Treachery in it. Bit difficult to tell at the moment. So, yeah, they have a Castle Garenbrig here. Creature's going to come out. Hydrocrisis, potentially. Yep. Okay, so we really need an answer for the Hydroid Crisis. Cavalier, we could effectively, we could potentially do something with, but Hydroid Crisis up in the air is a bit of a problem. Nexus Wardens is the only blocker with reach. Not much we can really do. The Hydroid Crisis and Cavalier are huge deterrents for us. End raise Forerunners, yeah, okay. That's a huge card for them. We don't have an answer for that, so we're going to really be eating damage right now. We could take the Gilded Goose. Hydrocrisis is... just thinking about how we set up our blockers here. We could go... 4/5. $17. Wow, that's going to be a lot of damage. We really just needed another Banishing Light. I think the biggest mistake this turn, or this game, was clearing the Banishing Light too early. So we just took a Risen Reef. We could have slowed them down a lot by just getting rid of that Cavalier. That kind of has killed us, I think, here. Okay, so we took out a lot of that small stuff. Gilded Goose is back, and we have an Alseid. We may need to use the protection on Alseid this turn. We can probably sack an Omen for Scry. Bronzehide Lion. We could possibly use that for the Indestructible if he dies. We're probably going to be dead by the time he comes out anyway. Okay, so we don't have any option here other than to defend. Okay, so we're going to need to block. So we've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have to block the Hydro Krasis with a Nexus. We could protect our Starfield Mystic, potentially. Another Cavalier is going to be a pain. We really just need to pull a Banishing Light, but... yeah, so the Bronzehide Lion... probably should have put that away so that we hope to pull a Banishing Light. Or maybe we should add some Planar Cleansing to this deck or something for some removal. We could add Planar Cleansing to best of 3 to the sideboard. Don't really want to add... I mean, a Time Wipe could be really good. Don't really want to add any blue. I think Time Wipe's blue-white, right? So just go Planar Cleansing to keep it white. Planar Cleansing's 6 mana, I think. So 3 colorless, 3 white, potentially. I'll have to double check. Temple of Mystery for the Scry. We got plenty of food as well, so this opponent's going to be really hard to kill. Athasa is a huge threat as well. They're just going to be getting the enchantment where they can exile a target creature they control and return it under their control. It's probably actually not going to come into play too much. I guess they just want to trigger the ETB again for maybe Cavalier or Forerunners. We could sacrifice a Nexus Warden here. If we don't pull another play next turn, we'll have to protect the next Nexus Wardens to generate another turn. Yeah, okay. Totally forgot that Hydro Krasis has Trample as well, so that's a big deal. Okay, they're gonna exile the Gilded Goose and bring it back to generate the food. Interesting. They can basically do that every turn if they want. Bronzehide Lion. And then I think we kick off our Omen. What do we get on the scry? Hopefully a Banishing Light. Oh, 2 of them. I think we almost keep both. So we can almost attack with Starfield Mystic here. The Forerunners is going to be a decent block for that. Next turn, we could potentially do something. Bronzehide Lion could be an attacker. We can gain Indestructible until end of turn. It's not going to get past Cavalier, so anything we can do to put counters on Bronzehide Lion, we should definitely try. Destiny Spinner is nice, but I haven't played too many blue control decks. That's a big Hydro Crisis coming in. We just can't keep up. And we're not going to be able to block that. We only have 1 flyer blocker. So I think we're about done. We can block the Hydro Crisis this turn, the solo that they have. That's going to do 8 damage, minus the 2. So it's actually minus the 5, so that's 3 damage that's going to come in. We're going to have to block. Green, blue. Starfield gets up to 7. That's kind of nice. Okay. Tharsa's going to bounce the Risen Reef. Okay. Cavalier. I'll pick up an Alia, another Hydro Crisis in the back there as well. Okay, so we have our Banishing Light. We could take the bigger Hydro Crisis. We're holding on for dear life here. We get the... we could bring in a land, but... with Trample and Haste X is the number of enchantments we control. So we have 1, 2... 3... We only have 3 enchantments on the field. It's probably not worth it. Bronzehide Lion is... an indestructible, but it's going to get blocked anyway. That's not worth it. We have a 7/7 here. We could trade with the Endray's Forerunners. Or we just wait a turn. Another Banishing Light will come in next turn. It will be an 8/8. So I think we wait. It's playing pretty slow, but... it may give us an option. They've got an Uro, which is interesting. One deck idea that I want to play is Uro with a Hushbringer, because it'll prevent the exile or sacrifice it unless it's been escaped. So it'll basically give us a 3-mana 6/6. So I want to give that a shot. Could be really fun. A Wicked Wolf, so they're gonna go for... What are they gonna attack here? They're gonna go for our Trostani. Okay. Yep, so they're gonna take out the Trostani Discordant. That sucks because our Starfield Mystic goes down to 6/6. It'll become a 7/7 again. I think next turn we'll play Banishing Light. We'll then control another enchantment. It'll become a 7/7 and we'll have to trade for the End-Raze Forerunners. Uro's coming in from Escape. That's not good for us. Okay. So they've got a pretty strong board here. And we don't have a lot of options. We're just kind of lucky we have our Nexus Wardens to deal with these Hydroid Krasis. Krasi? Not sure what the plural is for many Hydroid Krasis. Hydroid Krasi. Okay, so a Leafkin Druid. They're probably going to play the Hydroid Krasis. Maybe the End-Raze Forerunners is an option as well. Yep. Okay, so we're going to have to chump block the End-Raze Forerunners with our Lifelinker. We're going to have to block with Nexus Wardens. We could take out the Cavalier. We can use Bronze-Hide Lion for a Indestructible. Alright. Oh, we don't survive because of the, yeah. The haste and the trample of End-Raze Forerunners, that's, yeah, pretty good. Okay. Okay, so we're on the draw. 2 castles. We're probably going to want to... It's going to come in tapped. We have a play on turn 1. Not a bad hand otherwise, but our mana base is not great, so I'm just going to mulligan, I think. This is a bit better for mana. We have a Citizen Champion, which is nice. I think we'll have to return the Destiny Spinner. Calyx is useful. Or we could put Calyx back and play a little bit more aggressive. I think we maybe put Calyx back. Okay, Citizen Champion. Kind of nice, Destiny Spinner, how our creatures and enchantments won't get countered. Not such a problem against a potential mono-white deck, but Esper control or any blue control, very useful. Should we play Citizen Champion, I think? Just make most effective use of our planes, our mana base, if we can. They got a 0/4 colorless wall artifact coming in next chapter, so we won't be able to do much about that. They're going to Banishing Light the Citizen Champion. Okay, we can play Starfield Mystic here. And potentially a Citizen, because we get... Actually, yeah, Citizen isn't a enchantment. I keep forgetting. Keep thinking it's an enchantment. No point attacking. That wall is kind of nice on Chapter 2. Nice defense. Daxos, okay. I haven't seen Impassioned or Raider very often lately. When the last set came out, saw it a lot in Mono White, but not so much these days. We play Citizen again. We just sit tight. Okay, so they're playing some interesting take on a life gain type deck. The whole Ajani situation is still a thing. Some sort of white devotion life gain. Destiny Spinner again. Bronzehide Lion. Would be a 3. Not bad. Castle. Could use that. Yeah, we still don't have enough power, so we're just gonna have to wait.
Our true strength lies in our friendships.
Those Ajanis are getting bigger. Gonna need some answers. So this deck really needs some kind of board wipe. Those tokens are becoming a real pain. Another Ajani? Okay. We're just not gonna take a trick this this game. It's nice interaction with Daxos. Nice. That's 8. We're probably gonna wanna block with something. And then protect. It's just too much damage to sustain otherwise. We don't have that option. Okay, Heliod. It's going to be some nice interaction between Heliod and Daxos. It's a very good combo. Heliod, you gain 1 life and put a 1/1 counter on a target creature you control when you gain life, and Daxos is going to be gaining life when creatures come in. Angel of Vitality, again, is a very good card for life gain, doubling the... or adding 1 to the life gain total. And things are getting really out of hand now for the opponent. Nice idea for a life gain deck, for sure. I think this is a good game. We can trigger the enchantment for Citizen. We don't have any options here. We may need to concede. Yep. Nothing we can do there. On to the next game. Okay, we're on the draw. 2 mana. Hydra's Growth. It's our fun derpy derp card. I think we're going to mulligan. Just not enough options. I guess Bronzehide on turn 2. Destiny Spinner. We might pull some land. It's going to be a tough curve to get out of. I think we mulligan. This is a little better. Access Wardens. Let's keep and get rid of the Trostani. Play the Plains, then we can play Castle on turn 2. Picked up another Plains. Okay, playing mono red. This should defend against Runaway Steamkin for a little while, so not a bad play. Nexus Warden. A second Runaway Steamkin. Okay, nice. We block this. And we're asking for that. Okay, we play Nalia here for the creature spells cost 1 less. So we're going to be taking 7. There's 3. Play another Forest. We can play both Archon and then Hellion. There's 10 coming in. That's going to be tough. Didn't have enough mana last turn to play both to get the trigger. We want to play Archon. Okay. Devotion to white is 3. Okay, Steamkin. That Rimrock Knight is... Okay, they're gonna Bone Crush the Pegasus. We can... Ooh, that's 9. It's tough. That's GG. the deck, there's a lot of potential here. We haven't been doing that great with it, so just want to keep working on it, I think, see how things work out. But if you end up playing this deck, let us know in the comments below how you end up playing out with it, and what changes you make to your Constelesnya deck. Thanks for watching, until next time, see you in the next video.